Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Elite Series Division 2 League of Legends in the promotion tournament, of course, with SLOTHS against FULLCLEAR Sports, where FULLCLEAR won the first game of the series, actually, so it's definitely a banger series so far, and all with my dearest friend, with the best co-caster I could have imagined, with Nobody's Nuts Junior. Welcome back, dude. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he had a great point here. He just wants to say great gem select, and that's exactly what I want to see as well. I would assume maybe the Hecarim of Galop gets banned out or something. Maybe that was a problem, who knows. But all in all, Rift SLOTHS actually picked blue side, so they will probably not really change a lot. FULLCLEAR actually probably not as well. Can we lower the sound of the gem select for me a little bit? That would be fine. Yeah, Hecarim, first champion, like I said. Makes sense. Was a problem, is a problem, so just ban it out. Probably Rek'Sai as well, then Klett or something. What did they ban as second ban last time? Rek'Sai, Klett as last? I don't remember actually. It's a good call. What did they ban? Something. Just Rel. They banned Rel. Yeah, I remember. But yeah, there's Rek'Sai, there's Jarvan, probably Kindred, probably Tsing Zhao, something in those waters, you could say. If waters even is the right word. But yeah, just ban out Shredded. Yeah, and probably Kindred as last. And on the other side, it could be Rel, it could be Klett. I would assume it's Klett. Oh, it's Red actually. So they rather wants to play against the Klett main than just Rel. I don't know if Galop and Skonage play a lot of Rel, so I would rather have banned Klett probably. But it's the decision of SLOTHS. Anyway. So we might see a Klett on Feste. We might see it as just blind pick instantly. Maybe not even like the Renekton blind pick. Yeah, there it is. It's Seri. So I don't believe that we see a Klett here. Probably a bot lane, probably a jungle pick, and then Klett as the third pick. Orianna worked out in the early game, not so much later, but she just ulted in crucial fights. So she was still a good part of the team, even though she got a little bit perma-doved and just perma-killed by the enemy team, but not maybe her fault in the great scheme of things. And now that there's no Sari to pick up. Yeah, no, I mean, Nomad was a Aphelios main, played a lot of Aphelios, so why not give him that as well? I mean, it takes a little bit of risk, because if you remember last game, one big part of Nomad's laning phase was that he was safe from the engages. He just jumped over the wall multiple times. Isn't that possible as Aphelios, so a little bit more unmobile. And no, I would probably pick the Nico again. Or no, it's Silas. So Bukan on a different champion. He wants to steal the ultimate of Orianna, which is strong. He can play the lane aggressive, Orianna as well, so kinda rough time for both. And Chrisen's Nautilus, who was banned last time, is now being picked. So that's some changes. I mean, they changed every single position so far. I would assume there's a Klett now on FULLCLEAR's part, just to secure the best top lane champion probably for first year. And it's actually Pro, which is a good counter pick into the Nautilus. And of course a good pickup with the attack speed from Ophelia, so you can instantly stun with the right weapon combination, which is strong. It wombo combos a little bit with Orianna and with Aphelios, of course. Now I would assume, yeah, could be a Renekton ban, maybe just some, yeah, there it is, just some bans against Lex, and then maybe even a Jax soon, and then Kled blind pick, but of course there will be a Kled ban now, so maybe full clear again, just wanting to go for Malphite or something. Oh no, Malphite could be hard with Siders on board, so I think SLOTHS is not caring about Malphite. Y ban, Vigo ban, so yes, Kled's still on the table actually, so I maybe would ban him out. Or Lex just says, yeah, Kled is fine, I can just play Jax and I'm fine with it. No, he is not fine with it. There is the ban actually, so every single engage tank now on the top side from Nomad could be rough, and there's actually a stat check champion with the Mundo now in the jungle. Dr. Mundo goes where he pleases. And he will do. He will. And with that, you need some stat checks. You need some strong early champion to maybe fight in there, or some strong as well ganking the perma camps taking champion just to stat the checks. Check the stats. Gwen now blind on top lane. They assume there would be a tank probably for Festia, which is a good guess. I mean, he probably goes for a tank anyway. And there's Kha'Zix. I mean, he can power farm a lot and he can actually kill Mundo probably in the early game. So I quite like it actually. It's definitely a different type of game plan and style now here from Shredded and from his team. They rely heavily on Chrisen to find those engages. Ooh, I really would like Olaf actually. Olaf would be like a banger champion here. Like if Kha'Zix, for example, falls behind against Mundo, then he is pretty much fucked. Top lane also, it's a really snowballing lane. So top side is totally snowballing. Mid lane, Bukan needs to play aggressively. So there's a lot of danger as well for both sides. So I really like the drops. I really like both sides of the table, because there could be something for both sides to do and to lose. I mean, it's definitely tough. And like with Nomad on his Aphelios, he played it a lot in the normal season, so definitely a good pickup by him. And yeah, nobody's nuts. Something to add to my analysis. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So just from scaling wise, I would say something like nobody's nuts. Like with the Quen, you have plenty of scaling with the Sari, but also you have like of course Silas and Kha'Zix who need to snowball a little bit, and on the other side, especially Aphelios scales tons. So we definitely have some banger for you Orianna scales as well. So there could be a lot in this game from both sides. And with that, we go in game. We will see who can take it, who can win it, and who takes home glory in this second best of in this second game of the best of 5 series. 30 seconds. I really like the balls of Olaf of Festje to just say, yeah, let's go. Let's do that, guys. I will outsmart, outkill, out everything. A strong player like Lex, and I mean Lex or Quen as a whole usually don't like those strong melee fighters who can stand in her shadow realm and fight her actually, because usually she likes to pokey, snip snap and run out, and then just walk out and in her mist, and that's something she cannot do actually against Olaf. Olaf will fight her and bring the fight to her essentially. So that could be hard. But I'm really open-minded, so I mean, both sides of this matchup can definitely win the matchup. And yeah, I wish, of course, like good of luck against Olaf. I mean, I'm a top laner myself, and Olaf isn't like the top laner I like to face. Usually because I play tanks, so Olaf pretty much runs down tanks. But there's the engage at the moment in the bot lane. Nomad loses a lot of health actually. They need to be careful after this level 2 spike. That was the first early engage, and the first blows are traded left and right. Axe gets thrown, but Olaf essentially is a champion you need to play. You need to play really good, because if he falls behind, he isn't like that strong anymore. And so it's not dangerous to pick it up. Oh, Nomad! Nomad! He has no heal, he is dead. Kristen with the first blood. The ignite was enough, some snippy snappies in the top lane. But Olaf, of course, withstands everything because he's a Viking. But yeah, that was a little whoopsie in the bot lane. And now mid lane crowd does the engage Bukan with some really good trades. And that's the big fear of the Mara, because as a Orianna, as a range champion, you usually push in the melee champion, and then the melee champion on this long lane can just try to run you down essentially, and that's what Bukan is doing there. Shredded with a little sneak peek on the top lane, at least looking if he can do something there. Last time the Mara actually played with the crouching potion. This time he is playing with Doran's string. So he needed to use both pots to essentially get some health back after this trade. And now both top laners actually ghost, but SG still has the flash. But he even flashes out. The chains down connect. What was that? Just think about it. Those chains in every single solo queue game, Festje would have been dead, but at this competitive landscapes, he survived this situation. What a funny moment, and really sad actually for the man in the mid lane, for Bukan himself. But sometimes League is rough in those. Sometimes hitboxes are really graceful. Is graceful the right word? I don't know. But sometimes hitboxes are really painful and unfair, and sometimes you think, how did this Nautilus hook actually hit me? It was 3 kilometers away from me, and sometimes you don't connect because of the landscape, because that's something people sometimes forget. League of Legends looks like it has some elevations, so some mountains and some things to climb, but actually it's all like 2D. So sometimes the skill shots don't hit on those mountains and hills, because they are not on the same thingy, if you know what I mean. It's complicated. I'm sorry. I'm just talking And yeah. Anyway. That's just something people sometimes forget. And there could be the engage. Now from Dr. Mundo, he even used Ghost. There's the exhaust, there's the book, so they can run him down. Kristen could die there, he is dead. But now on the top lane with the anti-heal, he gets the solo bolo. Lex with the kill versus Festje on the Olaf. And like I said, Olaf, if he is played from behind, isn't that strong because he is not tanky, and if he is behind, he is not that strong, and the other bruiser usually is, so the other tank usually is stronger, and then he just gets faced, checked, and put into death sentence. So that could be actually pretty dangerous on the top side for the Olaf player, and especially with the anti-heal, Quen actually respects some more trading against him. And he just does not want the Viking to lick his wounds. And then, of course, shredded, at least checked for the mid. Oh, those chains, they connect, and with it in the end. Oh, even the flashes, Bukan flashed out, but sadly to the wrong side, so nobody could connect on the little doll in the end. She survived it, and with that, Kristen was there, but he couldn't kill the Orianna. So well played by both sides, but Nemera, of course, with the little outplay, getting both in the shockwave and surviving the situation where he get ganked. So 2v1, essentially won by Nemera. Snippy snips snips. Oh, now the ghost gets land from both top laners, so again the trades. But there was Bukan in the river, got scared away by Gallop, by the doctor. And now we already see that Braum is pretty strong with the shield. He is really tanky, so both sides essentially trade nothing for nothing. It's funny. And I would assume that you could try to start ganking and roaming mid lane, because both mid laners have no flash. And with that, we might see some mid lane action soon, because that would be the lane I would gank as a jungler, and I would roam as a support. Not so fast. Oh, there comes the game. There comes the solo plays by Nemera. He cannot kill Bukan there. I mean, he got 2 solo kills in the last game, so he essentially won the 1v1 sometimes. And then always with SLOTHS, with the whole squad, ganking mid lane with Leona Sejuani, if you remember. And this time, Bukan searched a way out against Nemera. Oh, good hook against the Braum shield, but there it's Braum shield, so nothing really happens. Oh, there comes the tower dive. Good Moonlight Ritual, but there's the exhaust, but they still get him down, and Kristen cannot protect Adafla. Adafla now gets doused by Gallop, and Gallop has enough damage. 2 kills for nothing by FULLCLEAR. Good tower dive there, good usage of the turret tanking from Mundo. Of course, he has a lot of sustain and can just do it. Nemera, meantime, even lost this little 1v1 on the top lane. There comes the snippy snaps, the needlework, but it's not enough. So nobody essentially dies. And with that, both top laners again just go their way. like always. I mean, top laners always just go where they came from. Just the island, nobody likes them, and then they just retreat and teleport back because they have no friend. Who can they? Because just think about it, like top bot laners, right? They always walk together to the lane. They can talk with each other. They can, I don't know, like back in school where you had a good friend and you walked with him to school and stuff. Like that's bot lane essentially. In mid lane and jungle, they can walk together and then they split up at the jungle entrance, say goodbye. But top lane, nobody wants to talk with him. Nobody wants to walk with him. Top lane just always is alone. He's alone in the dark. Top lane is a really sad place sometimes. Yeah, the game essentially froze a little bit. Nobody really is doing something. We don't see any really aggressive action at the moment. But there comes the full engage, but he's just too fast. I mean, it's just Mundo. You cannot really go on Mundo. I mean, how? Mundo is just too strong. And Mundo goes where he pleases. But there comes the engage against Hook. But like I said, Hook against Braum is usually not that worth it. But now they can try to run down the bot lane of Rift's Loss. Scourge is almost dead. He needs to jump out. And Seri can now chase them down. Oh, Nomad tries to flash on them, but he cannot get them. And now Nomad maybe, Scourge maybe is dying against a Dafla. He gets slowed down. He still has the Braum shield and probably he survives. They probably cannot tower dive in on the top lane. Now the Herald got spawned against Festir and he lost some turret platings against the Rift laners. But now Lex maybe gets run down. There's still a shredded shunt onto Lex. And Lex with the Needlebird cannot kill in the end. Nothing to be done here. But still really good from both junglers who play around one of their win conditions at least. Because Olaf can later on run down and against all those melee champions, Olaf is really strong. You can just try to heal up on them and force Seri maybe to jump over a wall and then she is out of combat. And as well as Quinn actually in this team comp can do a lot of work as well, so we might see later on really good team fights from both sides. Oh, that was close. Bukan with a glimpse of hope getting out of this little roam by Scaronage. No, both sides essentially get back on track. Shredded with the jungle camps. First track still is the second track, I mean, is a cloud track. First track, of course, was the earth track, the mountain track. Got taken down by Gallop, I think after one of his skanks on bot lane. And now Drake gets even started. But there's the whole Rift Thrust. He hooks into the shield, so nobody dies. Nomad still needs to walk down to his team. There could be the wombo combo. Scourge together with the Mara maybe landing some crucial things. But there comes the teleport now in the backline. Lex is there for his team, and now they try to team fight it. They have Dafla with a lot of damage into the backline. And maybe good shockwave there from, of course, Salas himself, and Scaronage maybe even dying as well. 2 kills for nothing. Even the Drake on the top side. Festir does the best he can, but maybe there is even a tower dive now. Bukan coming from top lane. There's Numera, then they get Nomad, and now Prison even survives the whole turret dive. 2 more kills. They just lose Alex in returning, but a lot of turret damage and a lot of platings going down to Festir. But there's even the first turret now for Dafla, so that's a lot of gold. Oh, that was so close. It was so close, but Dafla actually getting it. So Festia isn't in a good spot now. He got a lot of gold, but his team essentially lost a big team fight, and after that they got even doved on. So that's the problem if you play Flash and Ghost. You just have no way to really help your team in those situations. I mean, he knew about that. I mean, that's the reason why he took it, but maybe it was not the best plan for the Olaf player, just because his team sometimes would need him, of course. But they will maybe savage it. Hopefully savage it. Now the Herald got taken down by FULLCLEAR spots, who at least get one more object for themselves, which is important. After they lost the first Herald, it's good to see that they won the second one. Of course, first Herald got used top lane for Quen. You remember where then there was a little skirmish with both junglers, but nobody died there. But there was the Herald charge on top lane. I'm here. Oh, yeah, those sound effects. This Sari. Always a good one. Always a good one. Oh no, Olaf might be in trouble. Festia could try to fight it, but he just tries to run out. But they are fast and they cannot get him, essentially. Not that fast. He tried his best to get out of there, and he did it. Now they might kill Lex instead, but so much damage coming out of this bug. I mean, what was that? The bug, the insect, just deleted the Viking in a really quick fashion. God Drinker does a fine work sometimes. And of course isolation, but I mean, it was a God Drinker. Dr. Mundo with some more wave. Because his top laner is dead, so he takes the wave instead. He still has his, what is it called? Herald. So they can use it to maybe crack open mid lane. That's usually one of the plans at least. Because mid lane turret is really important to open map. To open the map, of course. So that's a good idea to maybe open some paths in the jungle, to maybe then find some winning fights with your strong jungler. Because he is strong, and with that they might even are strong enough to lead the charge into some team fights. Okay, just checking. Oh, it's engage again onto Sky Ownage. He jumps over the wall, but he just runs down Adafla with his third kill, the 9th kill overall by ESLOL. So again, a small little kill lead at least by ESLOL like last game. And there's the next tower dive. Nomad has no chance essentially. 4,000 gold for ESLOL, 5,000 gold now in the lead. And Drake is spawning soon, so they could even try to get that as the Drake spawns. Here we go. There she is. She just likes Drakes, I guess. Heads up. Did you say Jesus? I don't think so. That would be funny. But I don't think so. And at the moment, the team of FULLCLEAR Sports actually needs some sort of a miracle. Maybe not a miracle, but they need to get back in the game, because otherwise they will lose their comfort lead from the series. I mean, they won last game, so would be good for them if they don't drop this game, but at the moment it looks like that. So we might see happy SLOTHS in the end. And a long series maybe for me. Oh man, I'm liking that, I guess. Not really, but I mean, what should I say? But yeah, I mean, I can live with that. Now Lex and Fistje traded out a little bit. Nobody dying, of course. And now Drake is getting started by the SLOTHS. And at the moment, at least, there's no Mundo to be seen. No, he is there. It's still 5,000 gold and they try to fight it. Shockwave still able to being planted by Nemera. Now they try to fight Lex and in the meantime they secure the Baron. But there's Festje, so there might be a team fight. Maybe Chrisen dies. So it's 1-for-1 at the moment. Good Shockwave there by Silas. Do they overchase or can they win the team fight at the moment? Nobody's really dying on the side of, but no, they can even run them down. Look at the damage of Nomad. He does such a phenomenal job and it's a 3-4-2 in the end. But of course with SLOTHS with a Baron. Now shredded maybe with the execution, but he gets executed maybe now. What a close fight there. So the Baron was worth kinda, a little bit at least. But they lost some, at least, from this Baron buff. So, was a good fight. Overchased by the SLOTHS. I mean, that was not a fight that FULLCLEAR actually took. They disengaged and then SLOTHS tried to run them down. And in the end, Nomad was just strong enough to essentially kill the front line and then they needed to run away. So, was a really hectic team fight and frontline clashed essentially, but it wasn't the day for SLOTHS. What can they do with this Baron buff? That's the big question at the moment, and we will hopefully get an answer soon. Of course there are turrets which they can try to take down. Of course there are always objectives to take down, so when Drake is spawning in 1 minute, so they will still have Baron buff probably when Drake spawned. Oh, Needlework already used on the top lane. Mid lane gets siege down, but there is... Oh, Mundo already used ultimate. I don't know why, but he did. And nobody dies, no turrets get harmed. So at the moment it's a really good defense strategy by FULLCLEAR. Just some turret damage left and right, but not really a turret which gets killed. And there's the full engage, no onto Bukan, but he just steps out of there. And now there's the rest of the squad. Fistje needs to run away. Now with Golop, it's a 2v2. But the chains connecting, with the chains connecting, Bukan gets the kill together with Shredded. Well played. And of course that's helping now to maybe secure at least one turret. They cannot crack open mid lane, but they could crack open bot lane now. Which gives a lot of free money. Teleport even comes out on Nemera. He tries to fight it, he gets the shockwave, but in the end he cannot secure the turret and he just dies against Adafla. That was greedy. Just, I think he calculated that he might kill the wave in time. And then just cannot get doved with the shockwave, but sadly was the wrong calculation. Now the Drake gets being taken down by the SLOTHS. So essentially another object for the Baron buff. And now it looks kinda good for the SLOTHS. They got a lot in the last couple of minutes and built up a little lead at least. 8,000, 9,000 gold almost. So That's something to work with. And at the moment it does not look good for full clear. Oh, there could be a solo kill on Lex, but he is strong enough to fight it actually 2v1. And in the meantime, mid lane tower gets sieged and they get Nomad actually, and Skyonage needs to run away on the top lane. Even some more stuff happens. Bot lane actually, it was a top laner. So well played by Lex at the moment. I mean, he voted 2v1. We couldn't really see a lot out of it, but it was well played. And now the big question is, can they get something out of all those trades? Can they get something out of the kill? And no answer sadly is not. So no turrets to be done. So oh, damage good by Sari so far, but nothing out of that. Turret now falls, so at least something. Yeah, full clear. Cannot defend it. They just drop turret by turret. And now it's 10k gold for the Rift Sloths. That's basically the old Rift Sloths we know, we love. They changed their draft, they changed the buns, and in the end it worked out. And for full clear now, it all depends on their own next draft. I mean, if they just choose red side, then we probably see the same draft again. So they will probably need to draft blue side from now. And with that, probably first pick Sari as well. Sari worked out for Nomad. Or maybe don't ban out one of those junglers, but I mean, all of them are pretty important against Shredded. But at least on blue side, they would not need to ban out Jarvan, right? Anyway, there comes the engage, but at the moment, not with too much punch behind it. And Dafla needs to run away, he even needs to flash, but there's the kill! Well played by Nomad, and now they can even kill Chrisen there. He is out of position, so a double kill essentially, and now Bukan even is on the running mode. And that could be the Baron, and with that, even some turret, some Baron shutdown. 600 gold more just by killing a Baron. But Shredded still there, he could go for the steal, of course. Is Gallop good enough to essentially not get stolen? That's the big question. Snippy, snippy, snip, snip. Now Shredded goes in, but Baron is not dead yet. But Silas, he does the play, he does the steal. What a game here by Rift Sloths, and now with even Lex teleporting in, all hope for full clear stun, and now they just recall out of this brush, and yeah, that's the secure of the Baron. That was important. Bukan with almost a winning play there for his team. Ah, yeah, it's really, it's not a close one essentially, but it's really a team of so many stories, a match of so many stories now. Now they try to kill X, but they can't, and in the meantime, some mid lane trading, but nobody really dies. Top lane turret gets tried to taken down, but they can't. And now the Soul Drake. Soul Drake cannot be contested. So in the end it's Drake, it's Soul, and it's almost done for for full clear. I mean, they lost a lot and no even soul, and I don't think that they can win against soul actually. It's a strong soul, it's Hextech soul, so even the movement speed, especially of so many members of them, isn't really that important. They just get slowed down, they just get run down, so that should be it. Riftloss now go over the top side, chase down Olaf. He still has ultimate, so he cannot be slowed, but that's just for 2 seconds, and now he gets doved. Oh, there's the hook, there's the kill, maybe onto Olaf, but he still has a lot of health. No, there it is. Lifesteal wasn't good enough in the end, and now the turret siege begins. Sorry, does a lot of poke damage, and there's Shred from the side. Even with now, they could be engage the slows, but they don't want to engage it actually. Oh, this every damage, just look at that. Those are tanks, man, those are tanks. And Lex just does his normal job with deleting turrets and deleting nomads. Lex, the hero of the game, essentially just getting so much in this game. Oh, good shockwave at least on the side of full clear, but it's not enough. They just get taken down. It's the game for Riftloss. It's a 1-for-1 in this series. And full clear is back on the even side of this matchup. And I'm still tired. I'm sorry. Anyway, with that, we'll probably go into a short break. Nothing to be said here, just a clean snowball by Riftloss. They secured the Barons. They did not let them stole it. They secured all the Drakes, except one, I guess. So it was a clean game, clean draft. Played a completely different game style and play style. So they still have some bullets in the chamber to hunt down full clear. Let's go into a short break and see if the hunt is successful or not.